Hello, Math 133 students. I've received a question about how to do this problem, which is 4.1, number 37, if you open up the physical textbook. So I'm going to click on the question help, and I'm going to click view an example. So I'm going to go over the example for you. And it says, consider the four data sets shown in the accompanying table, complete parts A through B and B below. So I have to click on the icon to view the table. Oh, and it's large and in charge. I hate these. Honestly, for this, yes, I could use my calculator, and I will use my calculator for one of the data sets to show you how, but I could also use Excel. So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to open in Excel, or I could copy it to a clipboard and open it in, say, like Google Spreadsheet. That would work, or StatCrunch, which is its own program. All right, so I'm just going to wait for this to open. Just give me a second. There's all the data. Okay, so the first thing they want to know after knowing the data set is they want to know the correlation coefficient for each data set. Okay, honestly, this is just so much faster in Excel than it would be on a calculator. I can't even begin to tell you. So let me highlight all of these. Let me make them a little bit larger just so we can see all the numbers a little bit better. Okay, so you can see that you have four data sets. So you have data set 1, data set 2, which I just did in yellow, data set 3, and then data set 4, which I just did in yellow. So you want to find the correlation coefficient for each one of these. All right, I'm going to show you in Excel first, and then I'll show you how to do it in the calculator as well. Okay, so for for Excel, all you have to type is equals Coral. Coral is the command for correlation. And you just tell it my x values are in this array. So I just highlighted all my x values. Actually, I think I want just the numbers. So 8 through 13, comma, and then the 12.14 down to the 7.47. Close my parentheses, enter. And there it finds it. So this is R right there. So R is negative 0.817. And then all I have to do is I'm just going to highlight these two, and so I'm using my mouse and I'm kind of dragging it along and then lifting up on my left mouse button. So the two cells are highlighted. I hit Control and C, or you can hit Home. Let me think. Where is it at? It'd be under Copy right here. Copy. And then I go over here to this cell and I hit Home, Paste, or Control V. So hold down the Control button, hit V, and I can do it again, Control V, and again, Control V, and I'm done. I have all four of them. Now I don't know how many decimal places they wanted, so let me just kind of move this over just a little bit. Let me go grab this. So they wanted, oh, we don't have to worry about any of that. So negative 0.817, negative 0.816, negative 0.816, and negative 0.817. So if I look at mine, let's see. Now all of these are correct except for data set 3. That's a mistake on the part of the publisher, and I'm going to let them know about that. So, but you could see I had 817, sorry, negative 0.817, negative 0.816. This one they're saying is 0.816, but not the way they currently have it. So I'm going to send them a note to let them know to fix that. So I don't know how they're going to fix it. Maybe they'll turn it to 916 here, or maybe they'll fix the data set so it makes that. And then negative 0.817. Now remember, you have the round ability. So if you want, you can highlight or type equals round parentheses correlation and then tell it 3, comma 3. And that's telling it, hey, find the correlation right here. So find that correlation in that data set, but also round it to 3 decimal places. So if you want, you can do that, and then it'll round it. And I'm just going to hit Control C, and then Control V, Control V, Control V. So there you go. So negative 0.817, negative 0.816, negative 0.817 for the last one. This is not the same as what they have here. And I checked the data, and the data is correct, so something's not right. But anyway, that's how you could do it quickly. Now, in a calculator, let me clear this out. So you go to Stat, you go to Edit, and you type in your data. So 8, enter 10, enter 5, and so on. This is just going to be a lot slower. Oops, and I type faster than this thing can actually process. So let me pause this and I'll be back. I'm just going to slowly type in all these data points and get everything perfect. And there they are. Beautiful. So I've got all those points in there. I made very sure to type slowly and carefully. So then I need to go to Stat. I need to go to Calculate. And I pick number 4, which is linear regression. That's where the correlation is. And I tell it I want list 1, or excuse me, list 1 has my X's, list 2 has my Y's. Make sure frequency list is blank. So if you have something in there, you want to clear it out. We don't really need to store the regression equation, at least at this stage. If you want to, you can. If you wanted to, you could hit variables to the right to Y variables, pick number 1, pick number 1. But again, that's not necessary. That's just in case you want to. And then move down to the bottom to calculate and press enter. Oh, rats. I didn't have my mode on. So if I click mode and I go down to the bottom, I have to turn stat diagnostics on. This should be on for your calculator from watching the notes, so or being in class. So sorry. If I redo this, stat, calculate, linear regression, it's not hard. Just go down to calculate again. And there it is. So negative 0.817, just like Excel said. So there you have it. So you can just redo it over and over and over and over. I mean, as tedious as that is. So you go to Stat, you go to Edit. I mean, technically you could fill into other columns, but you're going to run out of columns after the third data set. So, but you could sit and type, etc. But then you'd have to change which lists you're using. The easier way is just to retype over list 1. So just kind of go over here and retype. So retype list 1. Oh, list 1 is the same. It's just retyping list 2 because list 1 is the same for all these data sets. Oh, except for the last one. Last one's weird. But for these 3 data sets, it's the same. All right, now that we know how to do that, and find all of those, and then they just want you to figure out the scatter diagram. So you just kind of look at the scatter diagrams and figure out which one matches the data sets you're looking at. So as simple as that. Let me just see real quick. So if you want to kind of get a sense of which one's which, if they're giving you some kind of multiple choice option, you have a couple options available to you. If you want to see it in the calculator, what you can do is go to StatPlot, which is above your Y equals. So you hit second and then hit Y equals. And then, sorry, my Steam account just popped up there. All right, so StatPlot, then you go to number 1, which is plot number 1, and you say, I want it on. I want a scatter plot of L1 and L2. Wonderful. Then I go to Y equals and I make sure, see, I've got that equation in there. So you don't need it if you don't want it. You can clear it out because it's not necessary. And then hit zoom 9. You want number 9, which is zoom stat. It's there even on the older calculators, even if you can't see it on the screen. And there it is. And then you would just do the same thing. So if I go type in another data set, stat edit, and I go type in the other numbers for Y1, then I would just hit zoom 9 again and it'll automatically make it happen. Matter of fact, let me show that to you. I'm going to type in the second set numbers. 1 second. You just press clear enter on stat edit to get rid of the old L2, and then you type slowly and carefully the new nuns. I mean, technically you don't have to clear. You can just write over the old ones with your by typing, but that gets a little confusing of, which one's which. It's easier if you just clear out the old and then type in the new. I'm almost done. So once I'm done typing this, and you want to make sure it lines up and everything so that there should be the exact same length for the 2 columns. Then we go back to zoom because I already have it on Y equals. So if I go to Y equals, I can see the scatter plot is still on. That's why that plot 1 is dark. So I just hit zoom 9. And there's that scatter plot. And then I would just go back to stat edit, clear out the old, and then type in the new and just keep going from there. One other thing to note before you're done, you probably don't want the stat plot on a regular basis. So you could go back to stat plot, hit number 1, and go over here to the off to the right and press enter on the off. The faster way to do that is just Y equals. Go up and press enter, and then when you move away, it's off. All right, I hope that helps.